All right, y'all get ready. Get ready for the real. That's the real sports talk. Flips Barbershop Sports Talk. We start live. We got my man Danny Hips in the house. And we also got Dennis Lee. We're going to be talking football, y'all. Come on. Episode 3, Flips Barbershop Sports Talk. Let's go. Welcome, folks, to episode 3, College Game Day Edition, where we're going to be picking the games today. We also had some high school football games going on. We didn't have many local games, but Danny, you can tell them.
Yeah, let's run it down right quick. So last night I was at the Maiden High School versus Watauga. The Watauga Pioneers defeated the Blue Devils 47-21. Pretty good football game early, but later on the Pioneers kind of had their way with the Blue Devils, especially up front. They're a pretty solid football team. We've been playing those folks for a couple years, and I think that Coach Burns like to schedule those tougher competitions to see how that they can hold up, and I think it kind of shows their kids what it takes to be on that level. And it was like I said, a physical game. Pioneers were really big up front, took command and control of the line defensively and offensively, but really had a lot of nice looking athletes. I would tell you this, though, there was a couple points where the Blue Devils could have just laid down and quit, but I was kind of impressed with the fact that they stayed in the fight and kept rolling through. Had some good performances there as well. Had a few things early didn't go well for them and put them behind the 8 ball a little bit, but hey, they hung in there. Final score 47-21. Last night, West Lincoln played the Fred T. Ford Tigers. It was the Rebels 49 and the Tigers 20. Now, this game right here was probably the game to go to last night. It was Crest versus Shelby, and I think Crest, for some reason, they opened Pandora's box late, and they scored a ton of points. The final score there was 53 for Crest and 38 to Shelby. Not very many times you hear scores like that in a Shelby football game, but this year, I tell you, that whole county is full of tremendous athletes, but definitely got that. So East Lincoln over Lincoln, 28-14. Statesville over South Iredale, 22-12. South Caldwell, 48. North Surrey, 22. AC Alexander Central against North Iredale. Alexander Central beat them by 2, 17-15. So then, let's see here. East Rowan and the Red Devils of Newton Conover. Newton Conover came back from behind a pretty good sized deficit, finished up 46-39, and the Red Devils get the victory. And it was East Rutherford. I apologize. Now, wasn't they down in that game, Dean?
Yeah, they was down. I think it was down 20-7, and made a big comeback.
Yeah, so that's a good way to start. Several teams in the local area were off last night, and so as the weeks come by and we check them off, those games are going to get bigger, and I would anticipate they're getting better also.
Yeah, next week we'll have more local games. A lot of teams had buys this week. Bunker Hill, Bandy's, there were several other ones had a bye. I think Newton and Maiden and Ford was the only local teams that played. And but next week we'll have several coaches, high school coaches coming by.
Yeah, it's always good to hear those guys and see how their teams are progressing. And really, it's still early, but it's never too early to start trying to shape up things. And all those teams are going to be trying to get ready for conference play here in the next week or two, and that's when it counts, and we'll see. I've heard a lot of chatter around the barbershop this morning. You hear any chatter around here about any local high school football teams?
Oh yeah. We obviously every Saturday we keep hearing Bunker Hill's name being mentioned. So, and we know they're the top dog this year. So, ain't nothing wrong with that. Finally, somebody else besides, I guess, them Blue Devils.
Hey, it's I will tell you, they do have a very good team. I watched them early in the preseason. They're doing well here in the off season. We spoke with their coach last week, and I think that he's really got them on a good path, and I think all those coaches there are dedicated and working on that. But hey, you still got to play those games on that schedule.
Danny, our question of the week, we got one this week, and it's the best athlete, you've ever seen live in Catawba County. The best athlete.
I want to go first on that one.
Catawba County. Okay.
I'm going to go first on that one. So I will tell you, I grew up with him, played with him, and I'm going to go Keith Henry. I had to think about that. Keith's old lefty, but he was an unbelievable athlete in all sports. People know that he played football and went to Catawba and has continued to coach. His son, KJ, is now in the NFL. I would tell you what people don't know is that he was an unbelievable baseball player. I think he batted about 500 in high school. He was all-state. He was definitely a three-sport athlete. Same thing in basketball. He was, long and lanky and could really get up and down the court well. So for me, the overall athletes, when I think about a person that does multiple sports, I think about like the Bo Jacksons and those kind of people. I think that Deion Sanders, he might be one of those folks too. But for me in high school, it would be Keith Henry. I'm sure there's some other great ones out there.
Yeah, mine was, I was young at the time, but Derek Poogie Eichert. Derek was all around athlete, football, basketball, and also Poogie played baseball. So
yeah, he did. He was my quarterback actually when I was in school. He's a year younger than me, but yeah, he definitely was a good athlete.
But on the gridiron, I got three, and I'm biased, so all of them are from Maiden. But Chris Ramseur just comes to mind to me.
Very versatile athlete.
Tommy Henry next, and then also, of course, Caleb Farley. I mean,
Yeah.
he was one of the best athletes I've seen on the gridiron in a long time.
Yeah, I will tell you this. I'll give a shout out to some of them old school fellas. Back when I was growing up, there's a few of them young boys up there at Hickory that were pretty good. Marvin Young, Al Young, those guys. They were tremendous athletes. I was thinking about that on the way up here. Some of the old games that I went to, we used to have basketball games in this county, and you'd have to wait outside for somebody to leave so you could have a seat to go in because it was maximum occupancy all the time. And I think about that, but like Al Young and all those guys, and then Vernon Odom and Clifford Robinson over at Fred T4, like there were some tremendous athletes out of this county.
Hey, and we'll stay in my family. Tyrone McDaniel was a heck of an athlete. I remember watching him. I remember Coach Snyder took us to LR to watch the basketball team, and all eyes was on Tyrone at that time.
Yeah, my favorite part of that is that for them to get to the state championship, and they eventually went down and played a guy that's a pretty good basketball player, Jarvis Lang. So to get there, they had to beat Newton Conover, and back then, those big games, the regional sectionals, all those finals were at Lenore Ryan, and again, it was just a packed house, and I will tell you that he really showed up big on the big games. He played well all the time, but especially on the big games, and he had a game-winning buzzer beater shot there at Lenore Ryan to send them down to the state championship.
Yeah. Hey, as we talk in high school, let's go ahead and pass the mic around and give us best athlete in Catawba County that you've seen. And also, all we keep hearing is, the big, obviously all the high schools taking it game by game every Friday. But you keep hearing at the Barbershop, Bunker Hill, Maiden. And we got one of the big Bunker Hill fans here today, actually. And my uncle, we call him Uncle G. He going to talk a little bit about, let's see what. He been talking all this junk about Bunker Hill.
Oh, yeah, he's on that Bunker Hill bandwagon.
He said after 34 years, this is the year. He said he's counting on it, putting everything on it. I mean, it took 34 years, but he said this is it. He said everything's on.
You got to play that game.
Mike check.
First of all, Gary, what's the best athlete you've seen live in Catawba County besides yourself?
Well, I know a few of them, and a lot of them is my brother, Tyrone McDaniel, Short McDaniel, Key1 McDaniel. They was hell of athletes. But the best football player I've seen in a long time was Alvin Baker, SD7 Man of the Year, 3,000 yards in one season. He was the man. And Stuffy Hewitt.
Gary, did you just say 3,000 yards in one season? Good gracious. Hey, that's Danny. That's
That's
something
big.
special. That's something special.
But he still lost to Maiden. I'm just saying. Oh,
no,
you
that,
won
no,
that
that
week?
was 40 years ago, dude.
Oh, 40 years
Yeah,
ago.
they-
Okay.
Last time they beat him was 34 years. But hold on.
Bunk Hill Maiden. Well, Bunk Hill gonna knock them off this year, but I predict the score 42-13. Bunker Hill.
Wow. Hey, enough said by Uncle G.
Hey, I want to hear who all these other people think
Yeah.
are the best athlete they've ever seen.
Karan McDaniel. Hey, let's give a shout out to Karan McDaniel. Happy birthday today.
I like that shirt. Represent.
Yeah, he representing the NC, North Carolina today. Can't just say Carolina today. It's NC. Well, Karan, who's the best athlete you've ever seen in Catawba County? I mean, that you've seen play.
I'm going to go with my boy Chris Culliver.
Yeah, Chris Culver's a pretty good athlete. I hope I see him tonight.
Yeah, hey, I heard earlier in the week that, hey, he's going to have a touchdown tonight.
I hope he has more than one.
So, best athlete. Let's take it inside the Barbers right here. We'll start off with right here. We've got Sherrod.
I'm gonna say one you didn't see in football. He played basketball and box. Eric Reinhardt, also known as Todd Turner.
Who we got here? Okay.
The best player I've seen was my son Trevin Parks. You know, great basketball player, great football player, great kid all around. That's what I say.
I totally agree that as the assistant coach at Johnson C. Smith, right? Yeah, I've watched him play basketball. He's legit. I didn't even know he played football till a couple years ago. So that's pretty awesome. Best athlete you seen live in Catawba County?
Well, the best athlete I've seen in Catawba County. Well, first off, as I'm not from around here. I was born in Brooklyn, New York. So
Brooklyn in the house.
yeah. Okay.
Hey, I want to hear about what Brooklyn is.
Well, I'm gonna just say it like this. So I got all hopes, and for my son right here, he played for Carnova Newton. That's Newton Carnova. So
Hey, they had a
I'm
big night
hoping
last night.
huh?
They had a big night last night.
Yeah, they had a big night last night, and man, I'm just happy that man, at least they on the board right now, and I hope they continue on growing, and he come out and show out.
Hey, that's good. Wishing the best.
Appreciate you. We got Daniel Williams in the chair. Who you got, Daniel?
Best athlete I've probably seen that I've watched was probably Tommy Henry. So
Tommy was something else. Tommy was something else.
Tommy's pretty solid.
Tommy was something else. That's why his Shrombo jersey hanging on the wall over there somewhere. 26, yeah, 26. Flips, yeah, it's 26 right there in the dead middle. Yeah, Tommy was something else. And ran the ball about 30 times a game and also played linebacker, wasn't it? So, yeah, Tommy was going, he played all the minutes. So, let's go ask KK. Hold the cutting so you don't mess Daniel up real quick. Hold
You
on.
can't mess that hair up.
Whatever that. I'm going to go with myself and Caleb Farley.
Hey, two Calebs. Yeah, my nephew was something else on the basketball court, football field.
Very versatile athlete.
He could have played soccer too. We got the owner of the shop. He getting ready to see them NC Tar Heels play today. Who you got, Flip?
I got let me see. I got Chris Ramseur and Chris Culliver. Yeah, two very good athletes all around.
Two great athletes all around. Well, Danny, we're going to take it back over here to Danny Hips and finish off a little bit of high school talk, and then we're going to jump into college game day.
Yeah, it's game day college. But hey, the high school football is starting to crank up. But what everybody's waiting on is that cool weather, that crisp fall nights, those kind of stuff. It's still going to be a little warm for the next week or so. But again, as they start to make it through the non-conference games and get the local games that will be around the county on Friday nights, it'll be big. Be a lot of games. There's a lot of rivalries. You know, we do hear the Maiden Bunker Hill stuff, but you know, there's a lot of teams out there. The Red Devils are showing some pride there last night. Come back with a big win. And then the Bandage Trojans, I heard last night that Maiden was already starting to do their 50-50 raffle. That's going to be a huge raffle, so you can log on and get that raffle going in there. It'll be a huge 50-50 raffle, so that's another big game. Lots and lots of big games coming down the stretch, Dan.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Danny. A couple of advertisements. Last week, you know, we had the Red Devil cheerleaders and cheerleading coach, and they left a little something for us if to advertise for them. Little Red Devil camp coming up September 22nd. Facebook page or email coach at nckaler459@gmail.com. And also Coach Carlos Arias from Newton High School Soccer. They have game next Friday night, September 8th, alumni night. They're inviting everyone out there for their soccer game, and they're giving out prizes and stuff, Danny.
Hey, that's good. We like prizes. Also, we like to support anything that we can in the communities. And if you'd like to advertise on this show, hit us up on Facebook, and we can get you in the right place with the right people, and we'll get you situated.
Also, October 21st, we will be having the first annual Flips Barbershop PS5 Madden tournament.
Who's the early favorite on that?
Man, everybody keeps saying
Michael Ramseur.
Big Michael Ramseur, but
I might come
Mike,
out.
I heard you been getting knocked off online sometimes.
I might come out of retirement just to try to bust Big Mike up.
Big Mike, my nephew KK said he got your number, so we'll see. We'll see. They said y'all been going at it, but October 21st, Saturday, double elimination PS5 Madden tournament. Entry fee $25. Prizes to the first and second place. So, Danny, that's PS5 tournaments. It's pretty popular right now. So
yeah. You know, I'm old. I was like PS1. They four generations down now. Hey, how about throwing one out to Flip and the Barbershop? What we got going on here for picks this week?
For picks, we got the NFL picks started this week, and you can see all the barbers. They have the papers here. It's $3 picks, and I'm
making my picks.
Yeah, and you get a free $30 haircut or whatever that consists of, or you can choose between a haircut or this week we're supporting local businesses, so this week's gift certificate, $30 gift certificate to B52. So we're gonna have different restaurants every week supporting local businesses. So you guys come out and support Flip's Barbershop also.
Yeah, that'll be good. I think I'm gonna jump in that.
But we're gonna take a small break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about a little bit more high school and then jump into college.
Hey, we're back here at Flip's Barbershop on the Flip side. We talked a while ago about the games last night, and now we got a coach here. We're going to speak to him, Coach Willie Byrne from Maiden. Coach, how you doing this morning?
I can't complain, I guess. I'm alive.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Hey, let's talk about the game last night. Huge crowd for the Blue Devils there. A little bit cooler than it has been, and played a really good football team last night with the Pioneers from from Boone coming down the mountain to visit us, Watauga High School. Let's talk about that a little bit, Coach.
Yeah, I told Coach Havoc last night, when they got there, they brought the weather down with them, so they didn't have to come play in the humidity or heat or anything like that. So, obviously, I'm joking. I mean, it was a cool night, but perfect night for football. But we played a very good football team, and bottom line, we got beat by a better team.
Yeah, Coach, as I watched that game develop, they came out, really started off, had a couple good plays go their way in that first drive. They went down, got a touchdown and scored. But, the Blue Devils really kind of bounced back. And the thing that I noted this morning was your team never quit. There was a good team out there on the field that you were playing and had lots of weapons, especially up front. They were just really well prepared up front for all the stuff that they did offensively and defensively, really. But I was proud that your team stayed in the fight the whole night.
Yeah, I mean, they got the ball first, and we get a penalty on the first play, which had no bearing on the game. But, we talked all the past 2 weeks about playing physical and trying to match their physicality because they're very physical up front. And, they run 3 different offenses, essentially, and in terms of like wing tee, and then they run the option, and they're a spread team as well, and they do all of them very effectively. And we talked about tackle and dive, quarterback and pitch, and the first play of the game, we tackled the quarterback, even though he had already handed it off, and got a flag on the very first play of the game. But we came out. Our kids fought, just like you said, the whole night. And they scored, and we went down and scored. And in the first half, we really shot ourselves in the foot offensively after the first score. And got behind the chains a little bit at times. And, of course, turned it over. You can't turn it over against good teams and expect to win. But like you said, Danny, I mean, our kids fought. I mean, could have given up. Thing could have got real ugly. I'm proud of our kids. I mean,
yep, I agree with that.
They're bigger than us. I wouldn't say more physical because our kids, fought tooth and nail against bigger kids, and we just came up, draw the short end of the stick. So
yeah. So one of the things that I like, Coach, is in the preseason, a lot of times you see a lot of games, especially like today on college football. You're going to see a lot of teams that have some schedules that are really just cream puff schedules, and they're going to blow some people out today. I looked at the spreads a while ago. There's some spreads up in the 30s in games for today. You could just as easily have scored a lesser quality team in the preseason, got that victory, and moved down the road. Tell me what the thought process and the advantages are of scheduling games early against good football teams.
Well, I and we as Maiden people, we're going to test our team early, especially going. We have a very tough conference. I mean, I think everybody knows that. It's going to be talked about all the time. You got to come every week ready to play. So, with our non-conference schedule, we're going to play if possible, which we have that one open week where we can schedule whoever we want. And as long as I've been the head coach, as long as I will be the head coach, we're going to play somebody that's going to test us physically, mentally, and we're going to play a team that's on paper going to be better than us or should be better than us, and see where we stand. I mean, whether we're, could beat them, should beat them, whatever, we're going to put our team to that test. And for the last 2 years, we've done it, and this is the third year now. We've played a 4A team, and our kids have responded to the message.
Yep.
And like I said, I mean, I think we're a little bit outmatched. And I'll say this, I didn't have them prepared, as much. And, I'll take 100% blame for the loss.
Hey, I think there's some things in that game that will pay dividends for you down the road. It usually does for all teams. And, Coach, we appreciate you talking to us this morning. But before you go, I want you to know that, every week I come in here and there's a lot of trash talking about this game down the road and this is coming and that coming. I don't know if everybody's wrote Bunker Hill's name on the trophy or not, but, I'm hearing that a lot in here every week. And, how do you stay focused through a season to not look ahead to those games and go one game at a time each week?
And again, we hear it all the time, but
I mean, every week's a rivalry for you, right? I mean, everybody wants to beat you. Bandy's wants to beat you. Newton wants to beat you. Bunker Hill wants to beat you. I mean, it's every week you got the man up, right?
Thanks. Stevens wants to beat us next week.
You're right. You're right.
There is for us, it's tunnel vision. I've said it for years. We have to have tunnel vision. We got the mark on our chest. It's always been that way. And we got to come to play every week.
That's right.
Our focus right now is St. Stephen. And, obviously watching the film last night, till 3 o'clock in the morning, always do. We got to fix our mistakes. We got to get better. And then, now we got to get ready for St. Stephen and try to win next week. And then go on from there. I'm not worried about anybody. Not saying I'm not worried about anybody, but we can't control what anybody else does. We can only control us, and that's what we're going to do.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Dan, I know you got a question you want to ask Coach Byrne this morning, so I'm going to hand it off to you.
Hey, Coach Byrne.
Yes, sir.
Did everybody stay healthy? Everybody stay healthy last night?
Yes, we had Raheem took a shot there in his third quarter, but he's fine. He's gonna be fine. He's
Yeah.
gonna be ready.
What was the call on that one, Coach? I was a little confused about that one.
I don't know if they labeled it targeting. Obviously, it was a deep ball. Raheem had everybody beat. Balls tad underthrown. But the Watauga player and Coach Hobbit, who's a great guy, I know he's not anywhere near this podcast area and probably won't be on it, probably won't ever see it. But when I went out there, was checking on Raheem, he was fine. Obviously, they initially called it helmet to helmet, and they took the targeting off, which the Watauga player was obviously just trying to make a play.
Not malicious intent, just making a play to tackle.
Yeah, he's just trying to make a play on the ball, and I think it was more of a helmet to face mask hit. It was definitely the kid. It was no malicious intent from the Watauga player, and that's why the back judge said, he was not going to eject the kid, and I said, no,
That's good. Sounds like they got it right.
I think, I did not think he meant any, malicious intent or anything like that on that play. And Raheem was fine. He was fine last night. He's still going to go through a protocol that they got to do. But he was, after the game, he was fine last night. And I fully, expect him to be ready to play next Friday night.
All right, appreciate it. Hey, Coach, we got a question of the week every week, and actually, you probably, he
might be in the running.
You're in the running too. But best athlete you've ever seen play live, or even while you was coaching in high school sports. And I know you was a heck of a football player, but you was also a heck of a basketball player. So, you're on that list. So,
I ain't on. Throw me out of that list.
Well, that's mine and Danny's opinion. So.
Well, I appreciate that, but best you went best running back last time, and obviously I'm gonna stay within Maiden for a couple of them. But I am gonna go outside because Cheryl's popping in my head off the bat with the Bell twins, Tabark and Savark Bell.
Good ones. Yeah. That's good ones.
And that was a pair at the same year.
Ooh, that's double trouble.
But I'm gonna stick with my guns with the running back. You talking about athlete? There was a great football player, a great basketball player, and Chris Ramseur.
Yeah.
All 4 years, varsity football and basketball. Got the scoring record in basketball. Obviously, he didn't break, rushing records because of Antoine and some of those guys that had more carries than him. But went on to play at Tennessee football. But he was an incredible point guard. He was unreal to watch as a basketball player. He could shoot it. He could pass it.
Tell you what, he had great knowledge in every sport too. He was a general.
And that mid-90s football and basketball teams, that year with Chris and the Crawford twins and all those guys, Bud Shuford and those guys, they were fun to watch.
It's because they had a good JV coach then.
Well, Coach, man, I appreciate you taking a little bit of your time on Saturday. I know you got the kids and stuff. I appreciate you coming by and get ready for next Friday night when you go up to St. Stephen's.
Yep, get Michael will be back next week.
Yeah, he will be coming back from an ACL surgery. Let's pray for him, and hopefully he'll be ready.
And continue prayers, anybody listening. Y'all had another Dalton Berg, running back, outside linebacker / kicker. Played a couple weeks ago against Ford, tore his ACL and meniscus, and it looks like as of now, he's gonna be out for the year, and he's a senior. And just prayers up to him and his family. Is it's tough to go through an injury like that.
Yeah, it is, most definitely.
And I just got a text message came through from Steve Breitenstein, who's assistant coach at Watauga. His son, Eric Breitenstein, who was also assistant coach at Watauga. And I mentioned Eric Breitenstein last week as, one of the best running backs I've ever seen live in person. And, he just texted me, your kids fought and never quit against some heavy adversity, which we did have very heavy adversity last night. And he put good luck from here on out.
And that's class.
That's why we play. Like some people question, why are you gonna play 4A school? I have the utmost respect for these coaches and know that they're gonna take care of us, and obviously they're well coached and they're gonna test our team and test our kids, and we're gonna be better for it in the long run.
That's right. All right, Coach, listen, I know you got a busy day. You got to get some rest for college football night. I know you didn't get much sleep last night. Hope that you have a great Labor Day weekend. Hope that you get a quick breath of time out on that before the football season really cranks up again next week. But we appreciate you taking the time to be on the show this morning.
All right, thank you guys.
All right, with that, we're going to jump out. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back on the flip side here at Flip's Barbershop. Tune us in. All right, we're back on the flip side here at Flip's Barbershop. Appreciate all the folks coming out this morning to talk to us. Right now we got Micheal Ramseur. Micheal, good to have you this morning. I know last night the Fred T. Ford Tigers had a big matchup again. Tell us how that game went, and then let's talk about how it's going and how they're developing as a team.
All right. We didn't get it done last night. The score was 49-20. But I thought the guys, they played hard. We still learning how to win.
Yeah,
we still learning how to win.
That's the hardest. That's the hardest one out of all. But when you do learn it, it's like it just domino chips. Yeah. It just falls in place.
And they playing hard, and we still trying to. We still got to find some leaders on the team. So I'm really challenging the seniors to step up and be leaders.
I'm guessing I wasn't there, but I've seen a few of those games. I feel like the West Lincoln team, usually it's a very physical game in the trenches, and it's they run a lot of different plays, but they pile up the box, and there's a lot of bodies in there blocking and stuff. Is that kind of how that offense went?
Coach Ponder, he's got them playing well. They have a system, that wing T is tough. They got plays that they're very efficient at, and they run them well.
I will tell you the crazy thing about that I've noticed is I referee a lot on Saturdays, and I have the referees that work for me on Saturdays, and from the smallest team at West Lincoln to the next team, to the next team, to the middle school, to the JV, to the varsity. It's the same offense. It's the same defense. And they line it up, and they've been in that system for a while. That's a huge advantage.
That's a huge advantage. You know, we have a great youth program in the Mountain View Tigers. We're not to that level yet, but we're trying to get the same terminology, so when those kids come up, at least the terminology is the same. But you look at a program like that, that's what you want to model your program after, and that's what we're trying to build to.
Yeah, so tell me about the game a little bit last night. What did your team, what did you feel like they were doing well, that you see an improvement, and what are the things that you still need to work on? You mentioned a couple of those already. What are you doing well that you saw last night that, you know, you got something to build on?
And it's crazy you say that. I think we've gotten better, you know, every week. The first 2 weeks, we kind of shot ourselves in the foot, you know, with some turnovers and things like that. Not as many turnovers last night, so we're trying to take care of the ball a little bit better. We did put it on the ground one time, but they kept playing. They kept playing. It was a stall. It was 13-0, you know, for a long time during the first half, and then we sputtered offensively. We would move the ball, and then it'd be a penalty here, penalty there, or
a deal breaker.
Know, and or we'll make a mistake, you know, turn the wrong way or something like that stall the drive. But they kept playing, and that's what I was proud of.
Yeah, you got to keep them in the fight. But I will tell you, once they figure out that, you know, you're 13 down, 13-0, but, you know, one play puts you right back in that game, and that's all it takes. And, you know, every play that you execute or that you draw up on the board is designed to score a touchdown. I remember an old coach that used to tell us that all the time. And, you know, if you get one of those right, then you're right back in the game. So it's really important, like you said, for your kids to stay in the fight and to keep that good attitude and to keep learning and clawing.
Yeah, and I think they did that last night. You know, like I said, we're getting better every week. It's small gains. It's not enough to show up on the scoreboard, but when you go back and look at the film, it's small gains. We got to take that and keep going.
And one thing I love about the Ford program is, you know, I started off coaching there right out of college, and I had a great experience there. Talk about that community and how they wrap around your program.
Oh, it's amazing, man.
And they feed you good too, don't they?
Yep, my wife actually, I gotta give a shout out to her. She fed the JV this week, so and the guys kind of enjoy that. But the community, man, is great. You know, even with the losses and the struggles we're having, they're out there supporting. They're always asking what they can do. Volunteers. I mean, it's crazy. One thing I keep saying is, you know, I'm going on my 4th year there. I'm like, when the honeymoon's gonna be over? You know, why is people so nice? Why, you know, so I'm like, when it's gonna be over? But it continues to happen.
Yeah, it's just salt of the earth kind of folks out there in that community, and I will tell you, I'm sure they're glad to have you, and I'm sure you're glad to have that support. So, Michael, who do you have next week?
We're open next week.
All right. So, what do you do on your open week?
On our open week, we're gonna try to. I'm gonna be honest with you, Dan. We're gonna try to have some fun. Then we're gonna try to shore up some things, offensively, blocking wise, and just defensively make sure we're still getting after it, working on tackling and some fundamental things. But the main thing is I want the kids to have fun next week.
Yeah, so, you know, that fun thing, a lot of coaches do that. And I'll tell you the value in that I see. The value is it brings them closer together. It builds trust between each other. It kind of forms that bond of brotherhood where, you know, how you don't want to let your next player down right beside you, those kind of things. That's a good strategy. I like that. And then who do you come out and play next?
North Iredale.
North Iredale. Yeah. So North Iredale played last night. Is that right? Did you go watch that? Have anybody watching that game?
No, we didn't have anybody watching it. But you know, right after we get back to the field house, we look up the score, and I want to say they end up beating AC.
Yeah, I think. Well, I don't know if they beat them. I think they came back and beat them 17-15. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah, all right, yeah. So, you know, that program is trying to get going too.
Yes, sir.
So that'll be a good game and a good opportunity for your Tigers. So now let's get through that. We're going to get through this question of the week. The question of the week. Now, we've heard a lot of names out there. You know, a couple of those Ramseurs were mentioned in that. Who is the best high school athlete? Not necessarily the best football player, basketball player, baseball. Overall, who was the best athlete that you've seen or remember?
All right, so I kind of heard it as I was coming in, so my wheels started turning, and I'm gonna be honest with you. The first guy that popped in my head is Tyrone McDaniels.
Oh gosh, we're gonna have to hear that from them Bunker Hill people in here.
I'm just saying. And
He's
I
a
knew-
good one, wasn't
I
he?
knew it was a couple. I mean,
Yeah, he was
that I
solid.
watched. You know, he started chewing that gum on that basketball court. Now it was
The thing
over.
I liked
It was
about him
over.
was, I gave a kind of an example of him earlier, but in basketball, whenever they were going down to that state championship and down through there, a lot of teams knew a lot of things, about Tyrone, and they really tried to get in his head or to do this or do that, but really they were feeding into what pumped him. The more junk they talked, the better he got. And
and to watch him run the option,
oh,
at
ooh,
quarterback.
ooh, yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it was a good. They had. I'll tell you what. They were loaded up. They had a lot of complimentary players, but Tyrone was a strong. That's a good one. That's a real good one.
And then the other one that popped in my head, my big brother Charlie Ike.
Yeah, Charlie was a good athlete.
Charlie was a good athlete. He had that spin on the basketball court, and every time he did it, I was a sophomore. I would be like, got him.
Got him. Yeah, he got down on the block, you were done.
Yep.
You let him get down on that low block, it was over. Absolutely, yeah. So the last question I have is, I know there's a little contest going on. It's going to be held up here at the Barbershop, at Flip's Barbershop, and a lot of trash talking going on about that. Is it what, PS5? Is that what it is?
Yes, sir.
PS5. So I've been knowing you a long time. You played a lot of video games at my house when you were younger. Antoine Eichert, all those guys, Russell Campbell, all those guys. We had a house full of them. I never had any food left when y'all left, but a lot of games played over there, and that was the old school. I hear that you're the odds favorite.
I don't know about that. I don't get to play like I used to, but I'm still up there.
There ain't nobody in here buying that. I heard a couple. Who's your biggest competition when that rolls in here?
I don't know. It's a lot of guys out now that can play it. That I ran across. KK can play. Anybody can win at any time. Video games these days.
So do you get to set up your own team? What team do you pick?
Oh, I play with my Baltimore Ravens.
Ravens all the way.
Yeah, that's my team.
Well, I don't blame you. I wouldn't pick.
Everybody say I get the best team, but I've been rolling with them.
Does anybody pick the Bengals? I see my man over here and all that Bengals stuff. Does anybody pick them? KK plays with him. All right.
He's got to play with him to compete.
Yeah, I understand. That's what I'm talking about. It's all about the trash talk. All right, Michael, we appreciate you coming in today. As always, man, we're pulling hard for you. We're pulling hard for those Tigers. And I know
KK going?
Yeah, I know that you're going to absolutely get them on the track that they need to be. But I tell you this, it's really bigger than just football. I also know that you're teaching them some stuff about being a man and what it takes to go through life and to be a good person. And that's who you are, and that's who your family's always been. And we appreciate you being out here today.
I appreciate that, Danny.
All right, Michael. Good to see you, man.
Yes,
hey,
sir.
with that, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back, and we're going to jump into a little college football because it's game day, the Tar Heels versus the Gamecocks tonight in Charlotte. All right, we'll be back on the flip side.
Let's go.
We're back at Flip's Barbershop Sports Talk. Tune in. Now it's college game day. We got some big games today, Danny. The big one down there in Charlotte, North Carolina and South Carolina.
Yeah, that's hyped up. I know Michael Ramseur, we just spoke to him. His family's down there. His wife and a lot of her friends are going down there to watch the game. Seen them setting up early this morning. They're already on TV. ESPN's got game day going on right now. A lot of signs and a lot of people out there. Who you got on that game tonight, Dan? Go ahead and say it, because I know who you're going to pull.
Nah, I mean, I think South Carolina going to get them, but I am pulling for, Chris Culliver.
Yeah. We don't really talk about all those things much, but yeah, we're pulling for Chris Culliver. I said I saw Ethan Rose the other night warming up on the field when NC State was getting ready to play. He's also from Maiden. Culliver could be an impact. I don't know yet. We'll see what they have in store for him, but I know he's put the work in and he's got a lot of things going on. But I will tell you, I think it's going to be a fantastic game. I think the spread today is 2.5 points, and I'll tell you, the Gamecocks at the end of the year last year really kind of picked it up. The quarterback picked it up. The Tar Heels have a really good quarterback themselves. However, they might have had the worst defense in the whole NCAA last year, so they're going to have to be able to stop some people to be competitive.
And that's what I'm basing my pick off of. South Carolina had a great bowl game, and I think their defense is stronger than North Carolina's. But and also Carolina, that Tez Walker is not going to get to play, so he's still ineligible. So I think Chris is going to get some of that time. So, but
yeah, I'm with you on all that except for that defensive part. You talking about their defense might be better. It's still going to be ugly. You know what the under-over is for this game, Dan?
What is it? You know it?
60.
Wow.
60. How good a defense can you be if somebody's going to score 60 points in a game?
Go over.
Take the over. Hey, I want to hear what everybody else. Any other big games out there today?
Well, I know the owner. I know Flip said go over. It's going to be 83 points scored, right, Flip? Yep, 83 points.
Some other big games. You want to run through the games right quick before we talk to everybody? I know that we got some Ohio State fans in here. They're playing Indiana today.
Yeah,
that should be a wash.
Let's go rank Ohio State at Indiana. Who you liking that?
Well, I think it's a blowout early, and I think it's going to keep being a blowout. Ohio State got a little chip on their shoulder. Their little butt hurt from last year. Ain't forgot that. Wanting to be in a championship. They're going to try to run up anything they can run up, try to get that chance at the end of the year.
My Irish got their second game of the year. Sam Hartman looked good last week.
Yeah. The Irish look good, but they always come out. Everybody hypes them up. I like the Irish. Just want to see if they can sustain it throughout the season.
Well, this is a different year. We got Sam Hartman, quarterback, real good quarterback. So I got top 25 games. East Carolina at Michigan. That's a 36-point spread. Virginia at Tennessee. Wow, that's a 28-point spread.
That one was really tough for me because, Virginia's a pretty good football team. Usually they play hard. Tennessee is ranked up in there pretty good, and they're trying to get into that national conversation about having a chance to get to the big dance, and we'll see. But Virginia's been pretty tough. I don't know about that one.
Barbershop, listen to this. This is a game right here. Colorado at TCU. The spread was 20. It just jumped to 21, prime time's number. What do you guys think about that?
Prime time.
21. They giving Colorado 21. To them take the points and the jersey number.
All right, let's see what we got on that right there. So what you think about that prime time? He's out there. He's going to bring a lot of good stuff there, but are they ready for this game?
I think they definitely got the skill position match with TCU, but up front on that line, I don't think they're ready.
Yeah, I don't think that 21 points is going to be enough.
I'm going TCU all the way.
TCU all the way. Michael Ramseur, what you think about that? Can Primetime get these guys and shock the nation right out the gate?
I'm telling you now, he's got something special. Wherever he goes, he does something special. So I wouldn't count him out too quick.
Yeah, I don't count him out, and I agree with that 100%. But this first game, he might have to lick his wounds a little bit.
Hey, we love you, Prime, but you gotta crawl before you walk. You're gonna get killed.
Yeah. They got a lot of work to do over there for sure, and I will tell you that. So how about you, Prime? You think the prime time is going to be anywhere close in this game?
Nah, the big boys up front gonna make too much of a difference. It's gonna be the Horned Frog.
Horned Frogs all the way over here, Dan, all the way. It's got
see
some
that.
other big games. Any other big games you want to talk about?
Oh yeah, top 25. You got Boise State at Washington, Ohio State at Indiana. Like we just said,
I found out.
let's see what Gary Morrison got to say about that game.
All right, Gary, what you got here, Ohio State?
Blowout.
All the way blowout?
Blowout.
Oh, wow.
So if you had to pick how many points they going to win by how many?
50.
Wow.
Wow. So you tell me that's a lock, so I can go ahead and put a little something on that bet?
Put your house on it.
All right. Going with the house. That's what I'm talking about. 50 points in the house, them Buckeyes in the house. What else you got over there, Dan?
Well, hey, the West Virginia at Penn State.
So I will tell you, I looked at that game, and what's the spread on that?
20.5.
I like West Virginia on that. Everybody else is going to say Penn State. I feel like it's going to be a lot closer than that. West Virginia's got some weapons, and I think it could be a little closer than that. West Virginia's getting 20 points against Penn State, and I'll be honest with you, Penn State's not really ever one of those dynamic offenses that just blow away. They kind of grind it all out. So I think I'm going to take West Virginia into 20.
And the biggest spread right now is Middle Tennessee State at Alabama.
Alabama. Ooh, Alabama. That's going to be an Alabama slammer. There ain't nobody. What's the spread on that?
40.
40 points in Alabama right there. Anybody want Alabama on that?
Yeah.
KK takes them. I'm with him on that.
Gary said he'll take them. And right here, the last one of the night, top 25 is your Tar Heels.
Yeah, I want to hear that. I'm going to go round table on that.
Yeah, let's get everybody's opinion on that. I want everybody's opinion on that one.
Gamecocks or Tar Heels?
I think the Gamecocks get them.
And why you got to be like that? You hating on everybody I like today. All right, he's got the Gamecocks over there. Gamecocks.
I like to see Carolina do it, but like I don't really care either way. I'm gonna watch a good game. That's what I'm looking for. A good game.
Good game. I think it's definitely gonna be a good game. KK, who you got? Carolina Gamecocks or the Tar Heels?
I got South Carolina, but I hope Chris get out there and do his thing.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Michael, I ain't even gonna ask you because we know who you pulling for. Tar Heels, yeah, that's who I'm with too. All right, Flip, who you got tonight, Flip?
Tar Heels.
All right, Dan, you got it. Sounds like it's the Tar Heels to me.
All right. Hey, Danny, also.
And the over. Now, Flip said definitely.
Well, definitely the over on that game. Definitely the over.
It might be 14-7. We all going to lose a bunch of money.
We got a big game. I know next Sunday starts NFL, but we got a big game, college game Sunday night. LSU and Florida State.
So that's
LSU and Florida State.
That's a tricky one right there. And I know.
Right now, the line is LSU -2. Let's ask Gary Morrison off the bat on that game.
Well, before we do that, I just want to say this. You know, in nature, sometimes there's some of them animals that go into hibernation, and then they sleep for like 4 or 5 years. And Florida State, really all them teams in Florida. Miami, Florida played awful the other night. Miami, they're all looking to come out of hibernation. So we'll see, you know, if they can walk the walk, talk the talk. All right, let's see. Florida State against LSU. What you got, KK?
I got Florida State.
For real? +2. He said Florida State +2.
He's saying that because his daddy.
LSU, them Tigers rolling. All right, Flip, what you got?
The whole state of Florida's been trashy the last couple of years, so LSU.
Yeah, Florida's lost their way. Michael, that's a tough one.
I'm with you, Danny. They've been asleep for too long. Seminoles.
Seminoles, all right. He said the Seminoles. I don't want to disrespect nobody over here. We got another Barbara. I need to ask her what she's thinking. So you're going to say Florida State or LSU?
Florida State.
Now tell them who you are. Now, we got to talk to all these other guys. We ain't got to talk much.
Letitia.
There you go. Letitia, the stylist. She says she's going Florida State. All right, so I know that all you're going to watch is Ohio State. But who's going to win this game now? And I know who you're going to pick because I know that you're a Bengals fan. And I know where the Bengals quarterback went and played ball at. So who are you picking?
Well, you know I'm going to ride with LSU, but I'm going to put y'all on a little knowledge. Anytime an SEC team play, and unless they playing against Ohio State, take them.
Man, he said anytime.
I don't know, Gary. A lot of people messed up Thursday night taking Florida Gators.
Dennis, here's all I know. I don't know.
Florida Gators?
Yeah, they didn't play good. So I don't know. I don't really know who's going to win all the games, and I don't know who's going to lose all the games. But I know every time I ask Gary something over here, he starts just rhythming. He's jiving when he tells me that. You get excited about football, don't you, Gary?
Love it.
Love it, love it. All I know and all I heard was bet the house on Ohio State today.
Well, Danny, hold on, Danny. We got one more game. Don't forget Monday night, and this is my upset of the week. And you're listening.
I'm listening.
Clemson at Duke. Duke will pull off the upset with Brandon Johnson at cornerback from Newton Conover High School. And don't forget our quarterback. We got a nice one.
So Dennis he's throwing it on the table out there. Any chance that Duke Blue Devils are going to beat the Tigers?
Never.
never, he said. Never. But I will tell you that the Clemson Tigers faded away a little bit last year. So they got to figure out their quarterback first and foremost, whoever that is, and he's got to step up. Duke versus Clemson, Michael, what do you see on that one?
Clemson been there before. You know, it's hard to beat those Tigers, so I'm going to go with Clemson.
Listen, I don't like Clemson, but I like Duke even worse, so I ain't pulling for them for nothing. What is the spread on that, Dan?
Duke's getting 13. Take them.
Nah, it ain't for me.
Take the points.
Okay, first of all, I hate Duke. And I'm going to show respect to my cousin right there, KJ, that just come from Clemson, got drafted by the Commanders. Go Clemson.
There we go. There we go. Got some Clemson representation in the house.
I think I'm going to go with Clemson, too.
It ain't nobody wanting to pull for Duke. Yeah. You know, you notice that them Duke basketball fans got a different football team, you know, like Notre Dame, all that stuff.
Can't pull for a devil.
I just said I'm pulling Notre Dame and Duke.
Yeah, I know, and Duke. That's the craziest thing. So can Duke beat Clemson?
I'm not a Duke fan, so I'm going to go with no.
Man, I like this barbershop more and more every time I come in here, Dan. You're the only person pulling from them Dukies. You're all alone on the island.
You know they say they hate winners.
They should love Duke football.
Like, did you?
I'm
Duke
just
back.
saying.
Hey, we're on the road up now. We're okay. You'll see. Remember that.
I
Everyone in this
done
barbershop.
pushed the button over here. I done got Dan excited about that.
Oh, yeah. Gary Morrison, Flip, Connor, Michael Ramseur. I would definitely be giving you a call. And my nephew, I definitely will give you a call after Monday night. Definitely. Well, Danny, we'll take a little small break, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the NFL season that's getting ready to start Thursday night with the Detroit Lions at the Kansas City Chiefs.
Listen, that line is pretty tight, too. I can't wait to talk about that. We'll be back on the flip side right after this.
Oh, Gary, who y'all got? Oh, Cleveland Browns. There you go. That's my big arm.
We're back right here at Flip's Barbershop. There's barbers up here and the stylists. All of them doing a lot of work this morning. Come by, get you a cut Also, when you come by, you got a chance and an opportunity to fill out the score sheet, pick the winners for the NFL first week 1. With that, there's a little contest going on up here for $3. You can place your entry, and the person who has the most wins on that can win a free haircut or can get a gift certificate at B52's, a great restaurant in downtown Newton, Conover. Actually, it's just Newton. I don't like Conover either, so we'll go with that. But, hey, we're going to talk about a little NFL today, and it starts off Thursday night football.
Yeah, Danny, Detroit Lions at the defending Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. They're talking real high on Detroit this year, and that could be an early upset, honestly.
Just remember, it's just talk. It's just talk. Now, think about this. How long has it been since the Detroit Lions have done anything or went to a playoff? Anybody got an idea on that? Like 23 years or something like that?
It's been a while.
And listen, the Chiefs are the champs for a reason. So I know that point spread is out there, and I know it's pretty tight. But I'm going to be really shocked if the Chiefs don't walk away with that one with a nice victory.
Yeah, Danny, we got some the 1 o'clock games starting next Sunday.
Hey, before we talk about that, I got something to say about them games. I will tell you what, I don't know about everybody else, but it's aggravating to me to figure out what channel I'm going to have to watch, whether it's going to be on YouTube, NFL, CBS, all that stuff. They holding us hostage. We got to figure out some way that we can see all them games and get that ticket and all that good stuff with all this crazy stuff. I'll be ready to watch a game, and all of a sudden it'll come up and say, we are fussing with the cable company, and they're not paying this, and we're not going to play this game, man. They can't be doing that to us football fans then.
Yeah, especially this past week. Charter and Disney's having arguments and just took ESPN off the whole.
Yeah, they just dropped them off the whole package, man. That messes up everybody, man. That's like a breach of contract.
And
yeah.
Let's get some comments on that. Danny, about them taking off ESPN, Disney, and Charter having arguments, and ESPN's the number one channel everybody watches right now.
Yeah, let's talk about that because there are some options out there.
Right. I'd like to say this wholeheartedly. If you have a Fire Stick and you still pay for cable, you're an idiot.
Yeah, that's throwing it out, and that's raw, and that's real, and that's the way to go. And that's really why I brought that conversation up on here to start with, because those other groups are kind of holding you hostage, and I will tell you, there ain't nothing worse than that cable bill that you get every month. It's tough. All right, let's get back to these games right here. So I think that, like you said, then the Lions are going to be a little more stout than they have been. I know they got a new running back, Jamar Gibbs, but they still got a lot of good players out there as well. I will tell you that old St. Brown, he shows up pretty good too. On the fantasy football picks, I'm going to a draft right after this, and there's a lot more Lions being picked this year than there have been in the past. So I still think we got the Chiefs. I'm going to go ahead and circle that one for me. All right, go ahead. Next game up there, Dan.
Next game, Carolina at Atlanta. Early.
That's the NFC South.
Yeah, the NFC South game.
And I'm a Buccaneers game. I wish they could both lose. But I'm going to have to say that from what I've seen early with that line that the Panthers have, even though they got a new quarterback, I think he's going to be on the run all day long. And the Falcons might have the most highly anticipated running back of anybody in the NFL. They're hyping him up. They're talking to him. It's time to show it now and see what he's got. But I'm going to pick the Falcons on that one.
Yeah, I kind of like the Falcons myself. Bryce Young is going to have to just prove himself, and this is his first year, so I think the Falcons and I like their running. I like that Bijan Robinson kid. I think he's the real deal. I think that's my rookie of the year this year.
Yeah, I think a rookie of the year this year is going to be a wide receiver, so we'll just have to see how that goes. But this next game is going to get a little people excited in here. This next game, it's all about the Orange Bowl. It's got the Cleveland Browns. The Brownies are going to be going up against the Bengals. Got Deshaun Watson. He's finally kind of getting back in the groove. They changed the offense up for him. Be a little bit different look for them. Pretty good folks up front. And I'll be honest with you, I think the Browns have the number one running back for the whole year rushing. I think right now that Nick Chubb is going to lead the NFL in rushing this year, but he's still going to lose to the Bengals in week 1.
Yeah, is Burrow going to be ready for game 1? He's back. Okay,
he's
definitely
back. Yeah, I saw him yesterday. He had a little glass of bourbon and a cigar, and he said to bring it on.
All right, let's get some predictions on that game, Danny.
On that
let's
one
get
right
some
there?
predictions. Yeah, we won't
On
do
the-
all the games. But let's get some predictions on that game.
On
It's
the Orange Bowl.
Cincinnati at Cleveland.
Well, we already know where this is going right here. Go ahead. Tell me who you got.
Nothing but the nasty natty.
All right.
Oh, I'm going to go with Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, we taking Cincinnati for real.
Cincinnati over here, too. All right. All right. Who you got, the Cincinnati Bengals or the Cleveland Browns?
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Oh, man.
That's about to be a sweep.
Is everybody scared of Gary in here or what?
I don't know what that is. All right. Who you got, Cincinnati or the Browns?
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Man, them Bengals, the Bengals.
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati and Dallas Cowboys for the win.
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
Oh gosh, that ain't even a
Cincy.
Sunday night game.
All right, we're about to have it. It's a sweep. Is it going to be Cincinnati for you, too?
Yeah.
Yep, Cincinnati. It's a sweep.
Wow, Cincinnati with the sweep.
What's the points on that one now?
The point spread?
Yeah, what is the spread?
It's -1.5. Cincinnati.
I might take them Brownies for the upset.
Deshaun Watson, remember Deshaun Watson?
I might take them Brownies for the upset and go ahead and steal one early in the season.
I'm going to have to watch that game with Gary because Deshaun Watson might go off that game.
Hey, he's going to be running a little bit more. They put him in a different offense.
Gary, that's
and,
a little scary.
They put him under center a little bit. He's gonna be running around. Hey, I bet he gets a good massage before the game too. Oh man, I didn't mean to say that. Sorry about that. I'm just playing.
Gary loved that. Danny said Deshaun gonna have to make sure. I mean, he guarantee a good massage before the game.
And maybe after. Hey, all right, let's go here. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars against the Indianapolis Colts. All right, let's talk about the Colts. You know, I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but they put Taylor on the PUP list. So he's going to be out for at least 4 games. Still ain't got a contract. What do you think about that contract stuff, Dan?
Man, I think, I gave my opinion, last week or the week before. I think running backs are underpaid, man. I think, especially the real good ones, Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor. I mean.
So I'm going to go the other way, man. How in the world can you make $5 million a year and be underpaid? But you know what? It's all about the market. It's all about the market and what their other players are getting paid for.
You just got a tight end that getting paid $48 million a year.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, guaranteed, not a year. I mean,
Yeah,
guaranteed.
so I'm gonna tell you why they do that. Them tight ends play for 29 years. You like Schultz and all them other people, they play forever. A running back span of playing is about 3 to 5 years, and I will tell you, it's like you buy a new truck for $5 million, but after 4 years, it's going to die on the side of the road, and you ain't going to be able to run it. So for me, I wish they'd figure it out because I do think he's a good running back, and I think he could help him. But I will tell you that whole relationship has gone down the tube here lately.
But yeah, I mean, who you like in that game, Danny? I got the Colts in that game.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Jags in that game because I think they're up and coming. I think Trevor Lawrence is looking good. I think ETN's looking good. I think that they're absolutely got some stuff on the up. And I will tell you, I'm curious to see what is it. Richardson, the quarterback for the.
Yeah, Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, I think he's exciting to watch. But I'm gonna go with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Next game. Your boys, Tampa Bay at Minnesota.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. Minnesota, to me, is the sleeper nobody really talks about. Nobody ever gives old Kirk Cousins any credit, but he slings the ball, and he's got the number 1 receiver in the NFL. Justin Jefferson, one of the number 1 receivers, I would say. There's probably a couple more up there at the top of the list, too, but he's got Justin Jefferson. But now the difference is they lost Dalvin Cook. He's gone. He's down the road. So Alexander Madison's going to be filling that spot, and I'm picking him in my fantasy draft because ain't nobody really talking about him. But I think he's going to get a lot of carries, and I think the Minnesota Vikings are going to be okay. And I think that'll be a tough match for my Buccaneers because we really are going to struggle this year. But I'm going to hang in there with them. I ain't never going to go against them, but I like the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, I like Minnesota in that game. The Tennessee Titans at the New Orleans Saints.
So, I will tell you that I feel like the Titans are going to be favored. But if you watched anything in the preseason, that the Saints have a pretty good team. I feel like they're going to win the NFC South easily. and I think that they will play strong and do well in this game. What's the spread on that one, Dan?
It's a 3. New Orleans 3, minus 3.
New Orleans 3. I will tell you that I'm going to stick with New Orleans because they really impressed me. And for those folks that don't know, Alvin Kamara is suspended for like 4 games.
Yeah.
It finally took him 3 years to get it worked out, but he's out for 4 games. And they got enough players down there they can backfield. So I'm going to go with the Saints.
Yep. Yeah, I take the Saints also. Also, the next game, San Francisco. I think this is my upset. San Francisco at Pittsburgh.
So listen, Kenny Pickett's been slinging it in the preseason, and the defense for the Pittsburgh Steelers is real. And a lot of stuff going on in San Francisco for me. I like their general manager, John Lynch, because he's a former Buccaneer, and they've made some tough decisions down the stretch here lately. But San Francisco's probably picked the win out there on that side. But I really think I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think they've got a little something working for them.
Yeah, I do too. I like Pickett and Pickens, the wide receiver. He's legit, and the running game is still there. And Pittsburgh's always going to play hard for Coach Tomlin. So, next game, Arizona Cardinals at the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, for me, it's Commanders all the way. I think that the Arizona Cardinals may finish last in the NFL. They've had a rough couple of years. I think Kyler Murray's still down. I don't think that they have the weapons that they need to do that. And I will tell you, there's a Tar Heel quarterback up there in Washington, D.C., and he's slinging that ball pretty good, Dan.
Yeah, he is. A lot of people saying that Arizona just clearing house and trying to get the number 1 pick. Already tanking. Season ain't even started yet. They want that, Caleb Williams out of USC, I keep hearing, but the line is 7, so anytime the Commanders are giving up 7, you must be pretty bad.
Yeah, that tells you something. But I think that May's playing well. They got a lot of options. Dotson came up big last year in the passing game. Got a couple different running backs that they can go to, and I will tell you, I think that if they can get Chase Young back in uniform and back on the field, they got a chance to make a little noise. But they're in the toughest division of football, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, next game, the Houston Texans at the Baltimore Ravens.
All right, who you got on that one, Dan?
Oh, I got the Ravens. I think in a blowout, honestly. I think,
I think the Ravens are the sleeper team in the AFC that not many people talk about. I think that, again, a contract talks took a long time, but Lamar Jackson got his contract. They got several different weapons, but defensively, I think they're going to be pretty good as well. And you got a lot of things that you have to game for to play them. And I think that Houston will struggle tremendously. I think they're going to be some bottom runners. They'll have some highlights here and there, but I think that the Ravens win that one easy.
This is going to be a good game, 4:00 game. Green Bay at Chicago. I think that's my sleeper team this year, the Chicago Bears, Danny.
Yeah, I think that Justin Fields really showed out last year and showed what he's able to do. And I will tell you, this is one of the oldest games, one of the oldest rivals. I don't know how long they've been playing each other, but it's a long, long time. And they've had a lot of cold games. Back in the day, some of those players from both teams, used to see Walter Payton going up and down across Soldiers Field, and that's their biggest rivalry. It'll be a big game, and it'll be a lot of TV. And nobody's really counting on the Green Bay Packers. They're not really sure about that quarterback position just yet, and they've got some work to do. But I think it'll be closer than what people think, but I do think the Bears will come out on the win on that one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. There's several division games already going on, ain't they?
Yeah, they jumping right in the fire.
Next one is a division game also in the AFC. Las Vegas Raiders at the Denver Broncos.
So for me, I think the big question in that game will be quarterbacks. I know everybody loves Russell Wilson, and he's this and he's done that. He looked as bad last year as I've ever seen him play. So I don't know if he's going to come back, bounce back, and play better. The Raiders also have a new quarterback. Who's their quarterback now, Dan?
From San Fran,
Jimmy G.
Yeah.
So, I will tell you Jimmy G's won some games here, but he's not anything spectacular. So we'll see if he can manage that football game. That's a tough one for me, but I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos. It's at Mile High.
Yeah, I'm taking them also because it's at Mile High. And also, I do like Sean Payton, new head coach there. So, and also, speaking of Jimmy G, he just got to stay healthy. If he can stay healthy now, he's a good quarterback.
Yeah, Sean Payton brings a lot of value there and a lot of grit. He'll toughen them up a little bit, and I would think that they would design that playbook to fit Russell Wilson a little better than it did last year.
All right, next one is my boys, Philadelphia at New England.
See, I don't see anybody picking New England. I think Philadelphia is going to be the strongest team every week that they play, and I think that all the weapons they got, they had a great draft. Everybody looks healthy, and I will tell you that the New England Patriots are not the New England Patriots from yesteryear, and they've had their own struggles, and I think that they'll continue to try to figure some things out. I think they're going to be a little better than they were, but I don't think they're good enough to top the Eagles.
No, it's a tough road game for us though. But yeah, I'm gonna jump on my boys.
Now, this next game is one of my favorites. I think it's going to be an exciting game. There's a lot of big names in this, two pretty good quarterbacks, and a lot of good players with the football here. It's Miami. The Dolphins are going to San Diego, right? So where are you at on that one, Dan?
L.A. Chargers. Man, that's a tough one right there. But I like the home team. In that game, and I think I'm gonna go with the Chargers, Danny. I think their defense
I'm
is
going to
stout.
hold off on that one for a little bit and cipher on that a little bit because I think that the Dolphins have a lot of weapons. They got Waddle. I know he's a little hurt, but I think he's going to suit up and play. And they got Tyreek Hill, who is a game changer, unbelievable. And so we'll see how that goes. Their defense, Miami's defense, doesn't get the credit that they deserve. They're pretty tough. But the Chargers, for me, I think that they just need to work on their consistency. They got all the weapons. They got everything. They got Eckler. They got their quarterback. They got the running backs, the wide receivers. I think they got all those things, but every once in a while they'll just ease up and somehow end up screwing up, losing a game.
Yeah. The next one, Danny, is the L.A. Rams at Seattle Seahawks.
So the Rams, I think they had the biggest drop last year. They went from Super Bowl champs to not even being existent. And you talked earlier about the Arizona Cardinals and about how I'm just kind of throwing in the towel. I feel like the Rams did that last year. So there's a lot of questions there. Cam Akers didn't play great last year. He's going to be their tailback. How's he going to do on that? The quarterback position, they struggled there as well. But I will say this. They really didn't play any starters hardly in the preseason whatsoever. They saved them over there. They're all healthy and they're ready to go. But I'm going to go with Seattle and Big Geno.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Seattle myself. I like old Pete Carroll, so I think he's an outstanding coach.
So I thought Seattle had one of the better drafts out there too. They picked a couple exciting players. They got a really good running back, a really good wide receiver out there. So, I fully expect that their big wide receiver, he's a grown man.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So I think that they got a little things to compliment him and
DK
Metcalf, and I think if people start double teaming him, they got some other weapons on the backside, and it'll create some problems. Seattle Seahawks in this one, I think.
All right, Danny, we're gonna pass the mic around on this next one. Dallas Sunday night game. Dallas at New York Giants. Sunday night game.
Well, I think.
And don't be scared. Don't be scared on this picks now, only because the owner's here.
All right, we got Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants Sunday night. Who you got? Dallas all day.
Man.
Now listen, stylist, you done made me feel good about your picks. Don't mess this up.
I'm not a Cowgirl fan, so
Oh,
I'm loving her already.
yeah.
Already.
I need to have her. We need to have her on the podcast.
Yeah, she's got to be here every week. All right, Cowboys or the Giants.
Man, I don't fool with the Cowboys.
Nobody pulling for the Cowboys over here on this side. All right, let's see who we got. Cowboys or the Giants?
Giants.
Shiraz a G.
All right, Giants or the Cowboys?
Giants all day.
Giants.
Dallas.
Dallas. Biscuit, who you got?
Cowboys.
Yeah, I know how we're going to end up here, but I'm going to save that one for last because he's going to have more than just a name to say. All right, Cowboys or Giants? Listen, I'm not going to give you anybody advice on how to pick, but if the man that was cutting my hair was a big fan of one of them, I believe I'd go with it.
I'm rolling with them all day. Cowboys, baby.
Cowboys always. See, you're going to get a better haircut for that. I can tell you that right now. Don't think he wouldn't nick you up or something if you had a set of Giants.
Cowboys win the Super Bowl.
Oh, not just the game. Cowboys win the Super Bowl. Super Bowl, Dan. Who you got on that one?
I like the New York Giants at home.
New York Giants.
Yeah, they're at home. Saquon, I'm a big fan of Saquon. But
I tell you who I'm a big fan of is Waller. I think Waller's going to show out.
Yeah,
everybody talks.
He's a
about,
great addition for them.
Listen, he's gonna get a lot of calls, and if you got a fantasy football team you can't afford Kelsey, you better go get Waller.
I agree. He's. I tell you what, Monday night's game's a great game. Buffalo Bills at the New York Jets.
Aaron Rodgers in the house, but I will tell you that the Jets got some weapons. They do. I don't know if they got enough to beat the Bills, but it will be a great game. One of my favorite players to watch last year was Garrett Wilson. He came up big. I think he might be the most athletic wide receiver in the NFL.
Hey, he's tough, Danny. He's tough. And then you got Aaron Rodgers throwing to him. Then you just added Dalvin Cook into the backfield.
Yeah, Breece Hall's still hurt, right?
Yeah, but he'll be healthy. He'll be healthy enough to. I think he's sitting out the first game.
Yeah, so and the Bills got a few people banged up too. They got some new running back positions. They got the other Cook, right? So,
yeah, they got his brother.
Yep, they got him. They got couple of different digs. They got good receivers. Quarterback is solid. Josh is pretty good there. Defensively now, I did see that Miller was out. Still not going to be able to play. Von Miller. So it should be a really good game to watch. But I'm going to go with the Bills. Bills Mafia, baby.
I'm going to take the Jets. Everybody keeps talking about Aaron Rodgers, but that Jets defense is outstanding.
I'm never going to pull for anybody that Rodgers has. He broke up with Danica Patrick, man. I can't ever forgive him for that.
But, well, Danny, that's all the picks. That's all the NFL picks. We're going to take a small break, and then we're going to come back and wrap it up. All right. Welcome back to Flip's Barbershop Sports Talk. Well, right here we're going to throw a little bit of advertisement out for you. I'm going to let Danny a couple announcements, and then we're going to wrap it up.
Hey, first one is we talked about a little earlier that PS5 Maiden tournament here. That's going to be on October 21st. That's Saturday, October 21st. It's double elimination. You got bragging rights and a lot of things on at stake there. So if you're interested in that, if you think you can win that, then bring it on. Bring it on, bring it on.
It'll be on Flip's Barbershop Facebook page, and contact myself, Dennis Lee. My number's on there if you're interested. And also, we're also having, it'll be $25 to get in, and double elimination. Also, first and second place prizes on that.
Yeah, don't forget that they have the NFL prize picks. For $3 you can get in that and be eligible to win a free haircut here. All the barbers and stylists are fantastic here. And it's not really just a cut, it's an experience. And just come by, check them out. A lot of good things going on here at Flip's Barbershop for sure. So the other thing I would just tell you that is if you are a community group, or if you have a business, local business that you'd like to advertise with us while we're doing this podcast, just reach out to us. We'll put you in connection with the right folks, and we can get you hooked up. I know there's a lot of elections going on. I know a lot of folks want to get their name out there. No better place than that to do it here, and we'd love to have you on our show. So thank you for that. Go ahead, Dan.
All right. Well, next episode will be next Saturday. Episode 4 will be next Saturday, and we're starting around 9 o'clock, from 9 to 11. So, folks, we'll see you there.
Yeah, next week's a big week. Again, everything next week's going to be flowing. It'll be local high school football flowing. Youth sports are flowing. College football's flowing. NFL's flowing. I know all these grown men are going to be wanting to sit around the TV all day on Saturday and Sunday, but I'm going to give you some good advice. If you ain't believed anything else I've said today, believe this. It's Labor Day weekend. You better do something special with the special person in your life this weekend. Treat them right, treat them good, but you better do something because you're going to be glued to that TV for the next 16 weeks and they ain't going to like it.
I know that's right. Well, hey, folks, see you next Saturday, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
Flip's Barbershop, located at 1912 North Main Avenue in Newton, North Carolina. Flip's Barbershop is a full-service barbershop for men, women, and children alike, and is fully equipped with 4-way televisions, pool table, video games, and vending machines to make your stay more enjoyable. We're open Tuesday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. For appointments, call 828-461-4949 or log on to flipsbarbershop.com or just stop by. All